Hey friends, it's Deb from Cooking with Mo and Deb, and it is my dad's birthday, 82 years old, and I'm making him a cake. It's one of his favorites. It's a coconut cake. He loves coconut, and it's a snowball wreath cake. So let me show you how we do it. Into your mixer, I have already added 1 box of yellow, or you can use white cake mix. And now I'm adding 1 box of vanilla instant pudding and pie filling. This is the small box. Just gonna put that into the mixer. There's a lot of cakes that use instant pudding mixed with it. It just kind of gives your cake a little extra flavor. And I like to go ahead and turn on my mixer for just a minute and let those two things get a little bit mixed up. This is a really tasty cake, and I top it with a cream cheese frosting and more coconut on top. So yeah, it's a really good cake. Okay, so now we're going to continue on with the other ingredients, and we're going to add 1 1/3 cups of water and 1/4 cup of oil, and we're going to add 4 eggs. I like to go ahead and put my eggs into something and kind of stir them up together. Whoops. Kind of whisk them together and then pour them into my cake just to make sure that they're mixed up good. There's 3 eggs, and here's the 4th. It's almost Christmas, can you believe it? December 17th. We're so close. I hope you've got your Christmas shopping done. I have most of mine done. I've done a good bit online. I've shopped in the stores a couple of times, but I do like the convenience of being able to shop online. Okay, 4 eggs. I'm going to pour that into my mixing bowl. And that way, when I've shopped online and I've got it done a little bit quicker, I have more time to cook. And I do love to cook, so I kind of like it that way. Okay, so I'm going to turn the mixer on, and we're going to let this get going a little bit. And I have just a couple more items to add. Coconut. Got to add coconut. And we need 1 1/3 cups of coconut. That was just a leftover part of a leftover bag, so got another bag open already. So there is 1 cup, and I'm just gonna eyeball this 1/3 cup. If you put in a little extra, it'll be okay. Coconut in a coconut cake is a good thing to have. Okay. Then you need 1 cup of chopped pecans. I suppose you could use some almonds if you'd rather, but I am using pecans because that's what I have today. So while that's mixing, you're gonna cook this in a fluted pan. And I always spray my pans with cooking spray that has flour. See, that's got flour. So make sure your pan is sprayed well. Make sure you spray the inside of it. And also your oven is heating. Whew, got a cloud. Your oven is heating to 325. Okay. I think my spray is running out, but I got just enough my pan, because I sure don't want this cake to stick. Okay, so my cake mix is just about ready to be put into my fluted pan. I think we got it. Let's take this out. There we go. We've got some yellow cake mix, vanilla instant pudding, eggs, oil, coconut and nuts. And we're just gonna pour this into this fluted cake pan that I've sprayed. And then we're gonna put it into the oven. It's gonna bake for about 40 minutes. I always just set it in the oven, and I use a tester at about 30 minutes to see if I need more time. So it usually takes about 40 minutes at 325 degrees. So I'm going to get the rest of this into my pan and put it in the oven, and when it finishes, I'll come back and show you what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. Okay, I'll be back. So while your snowball wreath cake is baking in the oven in your fluted pan at 325 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes, you can begin making your icing. Of course, you won't ice your cake right away because it'll have to cool, and once it cools down, then you can put your icing on. But you can keep this icing in the fridge until you're ready to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and make my icing. And it's a cream cheese frosting, and it's a 1-to-1, so it's an 8-ounce cream cheese and 1 stick of butter. It's a very easy recipe to double if you want to. I'm going to cream these, let them get mixed up really good. If you felt like you needed more frosting, you could add a half of it. I've many times done this. 1 1/2 cream cheese to 1 1/2 butter. So just do the same for both. And make sure that you have let your cream cheese and your butter soften. If it's not soft when you are trying to mix it up, it'll get lumpy. So you need to let it set out before you're ready to use it and let it soften. Now, once these are creamed together, you can then add powdered sugar to your mixer. I'm going to cream that just a little bit more. It will take at least 16 ounces of confectioner sugar or powdered sugar. And I'm sure you know this, but if you don't, just add your powdered sugar a little at a time so that it won't fly everywhere. And keep your mixer turned down low so that it won't fly everywhere, else you will have powdered sugar everywhere. And I have done that a time or two, so that's just a little tip for you. It'll take just a minute or two, but if you feel like your frosting is too thick, you can add just a little bit of milk. That'll thin it up a little. And when I say a little bit, I mean like a tablespoon. Just a very, very small amount. And if it's too thin, and you'll be able to tell the consistency. If it's too thin, you may want to add a little more powdered sugar. The last ingredient that goes in here is some vanilla. Let me see if I can get it out of my cabinet. Here we go. I don't see my vanilla. I'm gonna have to find vanilla. It's a vanilla goes in this. It's a good little flavoring. And then after my coconut cake is finished and I put my frosting on, I will add more coconut to the cake. You'll see it in the end. But I'm gonna add a little more powdered sugar. I'm gonna scrape down the sides of my mixer and let it beat just a little bit more. Then I'm gonna put it in a bowl and put it in the refrigerator. It will mix, you'll be able to put it on your cake better whenever it's a little bit, it's not real soft. It's a little bit firmer than what it comes out of the mixer. It just makes, keeping it really good and cold keeps it a little bit firm. It's easier to ice your cake. So you'll see that too in just a little bit when the cake comes out. So we'll be back. Okay, we have a cake. I have tested it and the tester comes out clean. And I've used this side to kind of run along the edge to make sure that I have none of my cake is sticking to the pan. And it's very loose. So I believe I can turn it out onto my cake plate. I'm going to give it a try. Would you like to see up close? This is our coconut cake. So this is my cake plate. I'm going to see how this goes. I'm going to turn it out onto my plate, let it continue to cool, and then later I will ice it. So here we go. It's time for the unveiling. Yes, oh, it looks very pretty. Turned out really nice. Definitely needs to cool some more before we ice it, but there is the coconut cake. It will be a snowball coconut cake when we're finished. Okay, it's time to finish up this snowball wreath cake. Got my cream cheese frosting, and I'm just gonna take a minute and just spread this around just a little bit. If you have an offset spatula, that works really well when you're decorating and icing cakes, but I can't find mine. So I'm just using a little scraper here, but we're just going to start spreading this around this cake. As you're spreading out your cream cheese frosting on your cake, just make sure that you get it all over the cake. You want to have a little bit of cream cheese frosting in every bite. It's just so good, you don't want to miss out on that. The frosting is so easy to make. It's just cream cheese butter and powdered sugar and a little bit of vanilla, and mixed up, and you can leave it in the fridge until you're ready to decorate. Oh, I was just showing you my new Santa apron for the holidays. It's a really cute little apron that I got on Amazon. But anyway, just continue frosting your cake. I use that frosting recipe for a lot of cakes, and it works really well with this snowball cake because once you get your cake frosted, you're going to put your coconut all over it, and it holds that coconut. And it's just, like I said, it's really, really, really good. It's a very big favorite of our family. And it's one of my dad's favorites. Since this is his cake, I wanted to make something that I know that he loves. And he loves coconut. He loves a lot of things, but this is one of his favorites. So yeah, you're just going to continue spreading your cake your cake frosting all over the cake. It doesn't have to be pretty. You just want to get it spread all over, including the inside of that little hole there where your fluted pan was at. So make sure you get there. Now I'm putting our coconut all over the cake, and I just drizzle it all over the top, and I kind of throw it at the sides. You can be a little messy here. It does get on the countertop, but I usually just pick it up and put it right back on the cake. I'm working on a clean surface, so it's okay to do that. But just get coconut all over your cake. I mean, this is a snowball cake, and the coconut's what makes it look like a snow cake. So make sure you've got it all over your snowball. It's really, really pretty. It makes for a very nice little cake. I think you're going to enjoy it. Now it's time to put the wreath portion on, which is just a pick that I got at Walmart, and I cleaned it up, and we just put it right in there, and there you have your snowball cake. Well, this is my snowball coconut wreath cake. It's very pretty and very tasty. Give it a try.